It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. Excited, thrilled to be here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm so lucky. We'll watch the visiting squad as they go up against the Detroit Pistons. For the Pistons, they come into this game after a loss to the Bulls at United Center. A crushing defeat in that one. Still with a sour taste in their mouths, they're looking to play much better. Well, we're just getting started with the Stan Van Gundy rebuild in Detroit. He's got full control and will start to build the roster to his liking. Shaq, you played for him for a while. How do you see him shaking things up in Detroit?
You know, he's a pretty good X&O man, very focused guy. So he's going to focus on players who can hit the three and spread the floor on offense. He'll also look to get players who are solid defensively. I just hope they can keep up with the, come on, get back on defense. What are you doing?
Oh, that's Van Gundy.
Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. The Detroit Pistons come into this one following a loss, guys, to Chicago. You know, guys, you hate to get embarrassed on your home court, but that's exactly what happened. It was a tough loss for them.
And that was one of the few times that you'll see a team just lack fight defensively in losing that game.
Yeah, and I know their fans may not want to hear it, but the reality and the truth is the defensive end of the floor was not what it needed to be in terms of effort.
And it's the Pistons to start out. All right, let's set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. So on the floor for the Bronx. Greek is out there with Hill. Then it's Dub. Then it's LeBron James. And it's Turner in at the center position. Now here's Jackson. Passes it to Caldwell Pope. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time. Caldwell Pope's got the first 3 points tonight for the Pistons.
You know, for the past few seasons, guys, Detroit had been a team that struggled to punish teams from the perimeter. Last year, that was not the case. They showed dramatic improvement in being a threat from behind the arc.
The drive by Jackson, steps back and fires. Here's Drummond. No good. The Bronx goes the other way with it. They put up a nice win against Utah last time out.
And in that game, guys, the beneficiary of what was some very lackluster defense being played against them.
Agreed, guys. It was really quite shocking and disappointing how many free runs to the hoop they got. Well, I don't think you're going to miss too many like those.
For Detroit, they've gone 1 of 3 for the field to start this one so far. Jackson against James. There's a good screen. Jackson kicks to Tolliver. Another 3 for Detroit.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. Come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
Now here's Jackson. Bronx grabs the miss.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
Well, with Coach Stan Van Gundy, it was a very successful first year in Detroit. He's a guy who's going to build around defense. That's been his M.O.
And Van Gundy has always been a defensive-first type guy, Kevin. The last 30 years, he has probably the best defensive efficiency for a career as a coach. And his teams always play with great emphasis on that side of the ball.
Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession. While we have a chance, let's take a look at the teams. In fourth, the Pistons.
You know, these two teams each had a great awareness of anticipating where missed shots were going to come down. That's part of why they were outstanding rebounding teams. They each had a couple of key players, but both had some unexpected help from guys you don't normally think of as rebounders. And that almost feels like 2 buckets coming off the steal like it did.
And especially the fact that it now ties the game. The lead was about to be stretched out, and instead, it's back even.
Here is Tolliver. Harris dishes to Caldwell Pope. Drummond the screen. Shot off the screen. And it's good off the back rim and in. Caldwell Pope's got 5 points so far. The Bronx has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. From deep, an absolute bomb from three-point range. Detroit's gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. Outside Jackson. Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. They get the rebound. And it's Drummond with the jam.
And guys, isn't it great to see a player who works that hard on the glass at both ends?
Well said, G. That's the way he has built, his reputation. Clark grinding away 100% effort all the time.
And Kevin, all that effort pays off. How many of those spectacular putback jams do we see from this guy? A bunch.
And that one's good, James.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Well, for Jordan Hill, something wonderful happened to him last season. The breakthrough he'd been waiting for on his 6th year.
Yeah, Kevin, it had to do, and I think correlated with him getting a chance to start games, and it blew up for him from there. Posted career-high averages across the board.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Marcus Morris is checked in for Tolliver. And it's Jody Meeks in for Caldwell Pope. Westbrook passes to Jennings. It's stolen by Morris. Now Detroit moving it up. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
Old school D right there. Just telling them no easy layups. It's as simple as that. And that's what you expect from them.
And getting back to Jordan Hill, everyone had been waiting for this. I mean, greater activity, more aggressiveness, and he puts up career highs in points, rebounds, and assists.
Detroit making a switch here. Baines is checked in. Then for the Bronx, Mahinmi's checked in for Turner. Paul George comes in for LeBron. Rodney Stuckey's subbed in for James. The Pistons have gone 6 of 10 from the field in this ballgame. Knocks it loose. Westbrook with the steal. It's hauled in by Harris.
And trying to come up with the highlight reel finish, somebody forgot to finish it.
Here's Jackson, and the rejection by Mahinmi. Westbrook drives in, no good. And it's Detroit the other way.
On the topic of Jordan Hill, hey, there aren't many guys like him with his size who can move that well. He's entering the prime of his career right now. Will he continue to ascend, or will he be content with where he's at? Time will tell.
Westbrook wide open. He fires. And another miss by the Bronx.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Harris with it. Rodney Stuckey covering. And the rejection by Mahinmi. And here's Westbrook from the arc. That drops. Westbrook's got 5 points so far.
It's almost as if both teams are in a zone.
Well, offensively at least, partner. I mean, neither team's done jack diddly on D.
And that one off the back of the rim and in. And let's get your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Bronx.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And also, how about how well they defended the rim? Not just blocking shots, but also altering them here in this first half.
And the Pistons making a change here. Johnson's checked in. Jackson kicks to Johnson. They get a hand on it. And here we go. George heading to the hoop. Now that's how to finish the break. Throw down with force.
Well, that's why they're on the lead. Aggressive play at both ends. Very nicely done there.
Absolutely. They make the steal, pay dividends instantly on the fast break.
Now, here is Morris. His last outing, 16 points for him. Johnson dishes to Morris. That one's off. Still out of sync.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backcourt.
And a trend they'd love to continue right through the next 3 quarters as well, Greg.
Here's George.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Rips down the breakaway slam.
And that's the kind of play you just do not want to give up defensively. You lose the possession and give up a quick 2 at the other end. That's losing basketball.
Especially to give up any buckets. That's a nice lead now.
It's tipped. Oh, we've seen some great shots in the first quarter. No shortage of offense. The Bronx on top as they end the first quarter. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And looking at what we've seen from the Bronx, what do you guys think?
And it's really about limiting their mistakes. And early on, they've been able to do that here in the first.
And, guys, I like what I've seen from them on the other end, forcing a few giveaways, and that's allowed them to widen that turnover margin.
So on the floor for the Bronx, they've got Paul George. Dub is out there with Mahinmi. Then it's Hill, and it's Westbrook in at the 1 spot. When you think about guards who play without fear or any hesitation, Russell Westbrook is the first of those guys to come to mind.
I tell you what, man, his relentless pursuit and attacking of the goal and his opponent is really something to watch.
The Bronx leading by 8. Hill has the open look. The shot's good. Jennings making the play. Hill's got 5 points so far.
And really, it looks like he may just try to take this thing over on his own and really build that lead up.
Drummond with a screen on Westbrook. The drive by Jackson. Johnson a wide open look. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
The rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the quality of that three-point shot attempt right there, going at it the way they did, but it all worked out for them. They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint.
There's a check in for Johnson. Caldwell Pope kicks to Tolliver. This is his first free throw of the game.
A 78% foul shooter a season ago. Pretty steady when he's at the line.
Good on the second free throw. The Bronx leading by 9. Stolen. Here's Caldwell Pope. It's stolen by Hill. And here we go with Westbrook heading to the hoop. And Hill throws it down.
Agility leads to thievery there as he's got his hand in there to get the steal. Intelligent play to immediately start the break.
And Clark, that's been the story of this game so far. I mean, they cannot hand over any more easy points in the open floor.
Jackson gets the bucket.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
And guys, you know, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, this guy screams potential at you. I mean, perfect size and length and speed for a 2-guard. He plays both ends. Right now, it's all about consistency for him.
Reggie Bullock, he's checked in for Detroit. And George kicks to Hill. We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter. Good D by Drummond. Dishes to Bullock. Knocked loose. Inside, Caldwell Pope. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. Caldwell Pope's got his 3rd basket of the night right there. On the topic of Caldwell Pope, he's the kind of guy who needs a year to feel his way around. In college, Greg, you may recall he showed dramatic improvement between years 1 and 2. The same thing has been true in the pros.
Yeah, and he has everything going for him. I mean, excellent outside shot, tremendous defensive tools. He just needs to add some strength and stay in attack mode to reach the next level in his development. Whoa, quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
Takes the 3. The shot, no good. Hill with some nice D. Here's Westbrook.
Just a great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, you know, exploding to the basket like that, Greg, just as soon as that ball was going the other way, that's exactly how you want to do it.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Kia. Caldwell Pope passes to Drummond. Bullock dishes to Caldwell Pope. Pistons passing it around. 5 to shoot. Here's Harris. Detroit, no good that time either. The Bronx leading by 10. Here's George, and the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Punches it down with pop.
Rubs it in. It looks like a little deeper with the hanging finish.
I tell you what, they're not backing off at all, are they?
Bullock kicks to Harris. It's Westbrook with the drive. Can't get it to go. Now 6 of 12 from the floor. George against Harris. Pass to Drummond. Bullock dishes to Caldwell Pope. To the paint. Here's Drummond. Here's Tolliver. A second chance effort. That one's good, and the Bronx lead is cut down now to just 10 on the basket from Drummond.
And that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not come by accident. And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Marcus Morris comes in for Anthony Tolliver. And it's Jody Meeks in for Caldwell Pope.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And, you know, it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow easy ones inside like that.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over.
Yeah, can't be pleased with all these easy looks they continue to give up there in the paint.
No, I'm sure he's not, Greg. I mean, their defense is showing a lot of holes, especially down low. That's unacceptable.
Harris kicks to Morris. There's the screen. Looking for Harris. He gets it there. And it's Paul George with the foul. And the Pistons making a change here. Jackson's checked in.
For the Pistons, back on the floor, Reggie Jackson.
.152 left in the first half. Off the pick. And Turner with the block. Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Hill. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Boy, and this run really triggered by their transition offense.
And you can see the momentum swinging now. They've gotten a huge boost of energy, and now the offense starting to click.
Johnson, he's checked in for Harris.
Brother, older by 7 minutes, named Markeith. Both brothers played at Kansas, drafted 13th and 14th in the same year, eventually played for the same pro team. That is joined at the hip.
And looking at the Morris brothers' careers through last season, the one area they haven't been joined at the hip in is in performance. Markeith has shown steady improvement over his first 4 years. Marcus Morris has had a very up and down start to his career.
And, you know, Kevin, Marcus has talent. He has versatility. He just hasn't found his role. It's time for him to step out of his brother's shadow and really establish who he is as a player.
Pistons trail by 14. Now Jackson. He's got 7. Meeks passes to Baines. How's that for an answer? Right back with the dunk.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
Well, there's also style just with the fact that he's able to have that kind of a finish, though. Still, I like that pretty one-handed flush.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
I love how he establishes his post position inside before he converts.
Good. Woo. Tell you what, he's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Absolutely insane with that dunk.
Well, now they're starting to rub it in, aren't they? Have build up a lead, and here we go, folks. It's showtime.
That was a Kodak moment right there. The more plays they make like that, the more they'll have these guys on the ropes.
And Detroit again with the bucket.
And that's definitely a shot that he has in his arsenal.
James with it. Outside Hill. Here's George. And so we wrap up.
Yes, Kevin, I'm here with
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille. That's going to do it for now as the second half is just
and we welcome you back to more NBA action. Players looking hydrated and plenty of Gatorade to help them get.
All of a sudden, he's becoming their best distributor, doing a great job of orchestrating their offense.
Greg, typically that's not the role he usually plays, and I'm not sure how comfortable he is in it, but they've needed him to make some plays today, and he's been able to do it to his credit.
The big men, Tolliver and Drummond. Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. And it's Harris in at the 3 slot. That's the group for Detroit right now. Caldwell Pope dishes to Tolliver. Stuckey brings the double team, and it's Rodney Stuckey with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. And it's Harris off the drive. LeBron with the block. And it's out of bounds to the Pistons as Detroit retains possession. Puts it up off the inbound. 4 on the shot clock. Puts it up. They get it back.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game.
The Bronx leading by 11. Pass to George. And it's sent back by Drummond. And the pass to Stuckey. Second shot opportunity. That doesn't go either for George. The Pistons have gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. Jackson against Turner. Harris setting the pick for Jackson. Back to Harris. And the rejection by James. Here's George. Yes, it's James picking up the assist. James has got his 4th assist in this one. Pistons trail by 13. Now a timeout called by Detroit. And this is the first season matchup for them against this Bronx team.
Yeah, 2 conference rivals. I mean, they'll play each other a total of 4 times this season.
Yeah, plenty of opportunity here, guys, to get on each other's bad side. I mean, if they weren't already. Should make for some fairly high drama.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Stan Van Gundy said to the team. He wants them running a disciplined, organized offense with an emphasis on setting screens and creating open shots on the floor for their shooters. He also wants them to concentrate on working as a team at the offensive end. Passing, patience, and teamwork. Those were the messages. Well, they need to make something happen before the start of the 4th quarter, and maybe those changes will do the trick, Kevin.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. Timeout called. Bronx.
And who could forget the tear that Westbrook went on last season? I mean, after the All-Star break, it was just triple-double after triple-double for him.
2 minutes into the second half of play now.
Oh!
And he dunks it down.
Oh, my goodness. He's just getting nasty on him now. Wow.
Yeah, now that they've built up a lead, this is when he really breaks out those incredibly slick moves.
Man, like a Ginsu knife, just slicing and dicing.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play. Greg, for Westbrook, as you were talking about him, the triple-double stretch included 4 in a row. He had 6 triple-doubles, Clark, in 8 games. He was sensational.
Yeah, it really was, Kevin. And what's even more amazing was that he was very close to a triple-double, even on the nights he didn't get one. Man, he's a guy who showed you what it means to carry a team.
Drummond with a screen on George. And there's the call on James. That'll be his second foul of the game.
That's his second personal foul.
Outside Jackson. He's looking for Drummond and finds him. Poke loose. The Bronx leading by 11. Westbrook kicks to Turner. And Westbrook, here we go. And that one's good. Westbrook's got 4 points this quarter.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but, boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
And that is good. Westbrook's got 19 points.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
I tell you what, it reminds me of one of my college coaches who used to say, that ain't going to get it done. That's 5 straight baskets in the paint now.
Double team on Westbrook. Kicks it to Turner. James, the pass to Westbrook. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Drummond. Let's pause to take a look at the teams that really made their opposing teams earn their points a season ago.
I mean, they held opponents to so few points that it allowed them to win games even when their offense wasn't clicking.
Clock at 6. The Bronx needs to get off a shot here. And it's LeBron missing. Pistons trail by 13. Here's Caldwell Pope. Shot is no good. Excellent D there from George. Now here's Westbrook. Defense right on him. And the Bronx tacks on 2 more.
Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
If you can't stop it, here it comes. I'm right at you.
Jackson misses. The Bronx leading by 15. And Westbrook, here we go.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Caldwell Pope dishes to Jackson. He's now made half of those 10 shots in the game. That's his 5th basket.
And something that's been whispered about around the NBA is expansion. We know there are some markets that want desperately to have an NBA team. The NBA might not be at 30 teams for the foreseeable future.
Timeout called, the Bronx. There are markets in the U.S. that want an NBA team. Seattle, which has been a great NBA friend, has been trying to get a team back since the Sonics left for Oklahoma City.
Clearly, Seattle's the lead name domestically. The NBA has also talked about adding a European division. A lot of different options for expansion. Don't think any will be acted on anytime soon.
Pistons trail by 16. Johnson outside. Knocks it loose and out of bounds as the Bronx gains possession.
Well, as we take a look at the rankings, let's see where Detroit ended up last season. 3rd in second chance points, 4th in rebounding, and they were top 10 in fewest team turnovers. This team has a number of players that take care of the ball and value every possession.
And just go revisit those numbers in terms of second chance points. That was elite. And a very nice season for him last year. Came in about 14 points per, 6 assists and 4 rebounds. And he's very steady with that second unit, running the offense and getting them into their sets.
Right. I mean, your backup point guard simply has to hold the fort, maintain the status quo, share the basketball, and minimize mistakes.
Aaron Baines, he's checked in for the Pistons. Here's Hill. 15 points in the game. They set the pick from deep three-point range. Rebound, Detroit.
And just because you can make it from outside doesn't mean you need to live there.
Not that far out anyway, Greg. I mean, he can work for a better shot than that.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for the Bronx.
And I like how they've taken the high percentage shot in the paint. In that first half, we saw them doing it, and they've continued to succeed as the game has worn on.
Something that also stands out tonight is the number of assists they have. I mean, that's a mark of a good club.
James. And another miss by the Bronx. Pistons trail by 12. It's stolen by Hill. And Turner kicks to James. Back to Turner. Kicks it out to James. 30 seconds left in the third. James misses.
Well, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
Jackson passes to Meeks. James against Jackson. Outside, Meeks. Jennings with the rebound. Jennings has got 3 rebounds now in this one. There's a screen from deep LeBron. No good on the buzzer beater. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. The Bronx leads by 12. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Detroit's gone 5 of 9 when they put up the three-point shot tonight. So on the floor for the Bronx, LeBron James is out there with Dub. Then there's Russell Westbrook.
Oh! Tell you what, he's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Absolutely insane with that dunk.
Well, now they're starting to rub it in, aren't they? Have build up a lead, and here we go, folks. It's showtime.
That was a Kodak moment right there. The more plays they make like that, the more they'll have these guys on the ropes.
Westbrook with it. Guarded now by Morris. And the shot is good.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
A different look here for Detroit. Drummond comes in for Aaron Baines. And it's Tolliver in for Marcus Morris. Tries again. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
What a game it's been for Westbrook. 25 points now and 3 great steals. Boy, he's been a big contributor in this one.
And it isn't something that they get from him every game, but I tell you what, they got to be loving it today.
Pistons trail by 15. Jackson kicks to Harris. He feeds it to Drummond. Boom, he jams it straight down.
And that's a huge play. I mean, they need more like it because second chance points are going to be key in this game.
Probably so. That's usually a crucial element to any comeback.
Yeah, and if you look at it, had they been converting those second chances all along instead of waiting until now, who knows?
Now here's James. Another miss by James.
He had 6 points from long range in the first half, but nothing's falling here since.
Unloads. That missed basket now makes him 4 of 8 from the field. From deep. James dishes to Westbrook. Jennings passes to Turner. Kicks it out to Jennings. From deep three-point range, from beyond the arc, and then some. And the Bronx leads by...
They've stepped up their three-point shooting game in the second half. They're letting it fly out there with reckless abandon.
You're not lacking in confidence, and I really like that. Sometimes you see teams get conservative once they get a lead, playing not to lose.
Here's Caldwell Pope. He's covered by Westbrook. Detroit, no good that time either.
He's still looking for his first three-pointer of the second half after making just one in the first. He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
On the wing, Harris. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Jackson's got his 6th assist on the night. James against Jackson. And that one's good. James. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. And stolen by James. From deep. It's hauled in by Tolliver. Tolliver's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Caldwell Pope kicks to Jackson. Great D that time from Jennings.
Now that's terrific defense at the rim. Got right in his path.
And you know they'll be conscious of him next time they take it inside, too. I mean, that's what really good defenders do. They make you think about their presence.
Pistons trail by 17. Here's Caldwell Pope. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
I was able to listen in on what Frank Vogel had to say to his team. He was propping his guys up for their defensive pressure, saying, listen, the pressure you put on them has been fantastic. Keep pestering them, keep forcing turnovers, and we'll be in a great position to win this thing.
Bronx making a switch here. Hill's checked in. The feed to Caldwell Pope. It's good, and it's his 6th make against 11 attempts.
Boy, they are passing the ball very crisply right now.
They really are, and their last 3 buckets have come by way of an assist.
They set the pick. Here's James. Detroit with the rebound. Drummond's got rebound number 8 now on the night. Takes it from 10. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. 9 points for Tobias Harris.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
Puts it up from 12, and Detroit again with the bucket.
I like the way they're working the ball inside, because when you do that, you get higher percentage shots, and typically good things happen.
Outside Hill. Sinks it. What range from outside. Wow. And the Bronx leads by 15.
Back-to-back threes for them. The defense is slacking off a little.
You've got to respect that 3, or you'll give up points in a hurry.
That was a good time to call a timeout to try to settle everybody down and get back into their offensive rhythm. They've been coughing up the rock an awful lot.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. On defense, the Bronx. They led by as many as 18 points. Here's Drummond. Offensive rebound. Off on the layup.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
Outside Jennings from deep three-point range. It's hauled in by Harris. Pistons trail by 15. Lets a floater go. He gets that one to drop. He's now 5 of 12. .143 left in the 4th. James with it. Guarded now by Jackson. They set the pick. James, no good.
Tell you what, the defense has nothing to worry about out there with him shooting. I mean, we can't dial it in from deep this half at all.
Hill against Jackson. It's stolen by Hill. 1:14 left in the 4th quarter. The quick look, no good that time.
But sometimes it's more about what the defense is doing. On that possession, they were all over him on the perimeter. And clearly, we will not be witnessing a spirited comeback tonight, albeit as exciting as that would be. This was an excellent all-around performance for the Bronx.
I agree, Steve, and this is a game where the defense, Clark Steele specifically, generating a lot of opportunities.
And it created extra possessions for him too, Kevin. Scoring opportunities they cashed in on. And that effort, a big part of what will be a nice victory tonight.
And during the long NBA season, each contest important here tonight. Tonight's win will give them 4 on the season.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
Especially because they're going to get together 3 more times this season, Greg. You love to get an opponent figured out early, and you're going to be seeing them that often.
And one of the league's truly special talents making his mark. Once again, another great performance for James. You have to focus on the steals he came up with. They were huge factors in the end result.
From deep, can't connect. So no problem for the Bronx as they get the win. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg.
Russell can...
The 2K Sports postgame show.